the coat.
Welcome back to the show. Reports Labor's feud with Fatima Payman will likely come to a head today. The rogue senator set to resign and join the crossbench. Joining us to discuss today's headlines is member for Hunter, Dan Ripicoli, and WA Senator Michaela Cash. Nice to see you. Dan, first up, she gone?
Definitely not. That's a choice for her to make. So Fatima's been a great member of the Labor Party and a great senator, and she's also been a great friend. I've had her on our podcast, Dan and the Doctor, and she's done great with that, and she's done a really good things for us in the Labor Party. So it's entirely up to her. I hope that she does not go. I hope that she can come and talk to us and want to work together as a team and stays part of the Labor.
You're talking
caucus.
past tense this morning, Dan. Come on.
I haven't heard anything, Carl,
Okay.
so we only work with what we got, and the info I've got is that she's still part of our party,
All right.
and I hope she stays there.
Michaela Payman will do this with the backing of Muslim groups. How do you feel about the rise of religious-based parties and how will they affect the next election for you?
Well, ultimately, let's go back to what's about to happen. According to the news reports, Mr Albanese is being shown to be the weak Prime Minister that he is, and that's Graham Richardson, former Labor Senator, saying that. I think this is just a reflection on Mr Albanese's, indecisiveness, and the Australian people need to ask themselves, if Mr Albanese can't govern his own party, how can he actually take decisive decisions in the best interests of Australians? I mean, he has been reduced to a sorry saga of saying, we'll await now further announcements from Senator Payman.
Dan, the bigger worry for you at the next election, especially in Western Sydney and Melbourne, is the rise of these parties. You've got dramas there.
So for me in the Hunter, I don't have a big area of that in the Hunter, but definitely there are some other parts of Sydney. But we have a great Labor team, and our Labor team will continue to focus on the things that matter for people in Western Sydney, for people in the Hunter, for people all over Australia.
All right, there are fresh calls for an early election this morning based on debate over nuclear energy. Michaela, you aren't quite ready for an early election, are you?
I can tell you, whether there's an early election or not, the coalition under Peter Dutton is ready to go. The next election, regardless, Carl, of when it's called, it is a cost of living election. And the question all Australians need to ask themselves is, do you feel better today than you did prior to the election? And on any analysis, food 11.4%, gas and electricity, up in excess of 20%. Housing, again, everything under Mr Albanese has gone up. People are feeling pain. It is a cost of living election. And as I said, the question people need to ask themselves, do I feel better today under Mr Albanese than I did 2 years ago? And the overwhelming answer is no.
Dan, I love the Hunter, and I was up there recently, and particularly small businesses are struggling. You better go to this election soon before interest rates go up.
We definitely know that small businesses, and we also know that all Australians are doing it tough right now, and that's why our focus is on the cost of living pressures on Australians right now, not focusing on when an election's going to be.
Are you worried about interest rates going up, though? It must give you a fair bit of nervousness.
Look, everyone's concerned about interest rates going up, but that's up to the RBA. The RBA makes those decisions on that. We'll continue to focus on cost of living measures, and I'll continue to focus on the Hunter to make sure that we can give and deliver the best possible outcomes to the people of the Hunter.
All right, finally, the who's who of Canberra have attended the 25th annual Midwinter Ball overnight. Michaela, judging by the sound of your voice this morning, you have hit it hard.
Look, I only wish I had, Carl. Unfortunately, I actually had a work commitment, and I honoured that work commitment despite my voice. But hey, look, it's not the Met Gala, but it is a night that's all about raising money for charities. Over $5 million has been raised to date, put on by the Press Gallery. So in terms of what is it all about, raising money for charity, I think that's a fantastic thing to do.
Dan, I'll tell you who wasn't there, the Israeli ambassador.
No, definitely not. The Israeli ambassador wasn't there. That was their choice not to come. But I fully agree with Michaela on that one. That raises a lot of money for charity, and that's the best thing that we can do. And that's one thing we do agree on. For me, I unfortunately didn't get to go. I needed my beauty sleep, Carl, so we had to make sure that I was looking after myself.
What do you do with that beard? You wax some moisturiser through
I can give you some hair tips.
Oils.
I can give you some hair tips.
It's not the same kind of hair, Michaela, so we've got to work with the beard differently. So it needs a bit of beard butter. Bit of
Beard
oil
butter.
for the skin to keep the skin nice and moist, and then a bit of beard butter in there as well, just to keep it nice volume.
Who would win between a gunfight and you and Bridget McKenzie, do you reckon?
Look, I've shot with Bridget McKenzie, and let's just say her skills aren't as high as mine. But I'd like to be out there having a go.
All right. Hey, well done to everyone on raising some important money last night.
Yeah.
Good on you. Thanks for coming on the show this morning. As
Great
always.
to be with
Appreciate
you.
it.